It's here. Today is February 6th, 2026, and that means the Milano Cortina Winter Olympics have officially kicked off. But listen, these are not your typical games. We're talking about a historic co-hosting model, some really dramatic behind-the-scenes sagas. Trust me, there is a lot more going on here than meets the eye. So, the theme for tonight's opening ceremony? Armonia, which means harmony. And you can see the creative lead, Marco Balic, described it perfectly, bringing different elements together. Honestly, that idea, harmony, and all the challenges that come with trying to achieve it, that really defines this entire Olympics. It's the perfect word for it. And wow, did they ever bring the star power to Milan's legendary San Siro Stadium? I mean, look at this lineup. We're talking about an incredible mix of both international and Italian superstars, like Mariah Carey, the one and only Andrea Bocelli, and Laura Pausini. What a show. Okay, so let's get into what makes this an Olympics like no other. The big thing, the headline, is the structure. For the very first time in history, the Winter Games are officially being co-hosted by two completely separate cities. That's a huge deal. So you're probably wondering, how does that even work? Well, it really is a tale of two cities. On one hand, you've got Milan, the huge fashion and business hub. That's where all the indoor ice events are happening. Think hockey, figure skating, all that good stuff. And then, get this, a full 250 miles away in the Dolomite Mountains, you have Cortina d'Ampezzo. That's where you'll find the heart of all the snow and sliding events. But you know what? It's not even just two cities. If you look at this, the events are actually spread out across 4 different clusters all over northern Italy. So yeah, this isn't just a co-hosted Olympics, it's a totally decentralized one. And that model, well, that could be the key to making these games more sustainable in the future. All right, so we've talked about the structure, but what about the sports? Let's get into the new games and the new rules. The competition itself is always evolving, right? Every Olympics brings some changes, and let me tell you, 2026 is absolutely packed with exciting new stuff and some major shakeups. Okay, the big headliner here is ski mountaineering. This is its official Olympic debut, and this sport is just wild. Imagine combining grueling uphill mountain climbing on skis with classic high-speed downhill racing. It's an absolutely insane test of both endurance and pure skill. And that's not all. There's a ton of other cool changes. We're getting the awesome head-to-head action of dual moguls, and this is a big one for hockey fans. For the first time since 2014, the NHL's biggest stars are back on Olympic ice. Plus, and this is a really huge milestone for equality, these games have the highest percentage of female athletes in the history of the Winter Games, 47%. That's amazing.
So, we've talked about all the good stuff, but remember that theme, harmony? Well, the road to get to these games was, let's just say it was anything but harmonious. Pulling off an event this massive is always a huge undertaking, but the journey to Milano Cortina was filled with some really serious challenges.
The number one headache, by far, was the sliding track for bobsleigh, luge, and skeleton. The whole thing was a saga. The initial plan was simple, right? Just restore the historic track from the 1956 Olympics in Cortina. But then costs just ballooned, no one even bid on the construction project, and it got so bad that organizers were threatening to move the events out of Italy completely. They even named Lake Placid in the US as the official backup venue. It was a mess. And believe it or not, the sliding track was just the start of their problems. The organizers also had to deal with police raids over corruption allegations. Yeah, you heard that right. There were also major construction delays at the main hockey arena, and even some political firestorms over things like security details and athlete protests. It was a lot to handle. But here's the thing, despite all of that chaos, the core idea of the Olympics, it always seems to persevere. So tonight, the focus finally shifts. It moves away from all the problems and onto the real purpose, seeing the world come together right here through the power of sport. Because really, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about the athletes. We're talking about almost 3,000 of the best athletes on the planet, all gathered in one place. And they're representing 92 different nations. You've got everyone from the traditional winter sports powerhouses to countries that are making their Winter Games debut for the very first time. It is a truly global event.
And leading the largest team of them all, Team USA, were 2 incredible athletes. You've got the amazing gold medal-winning speed skater Erin and U.S. Army veteran and bobsledder Frank Del Duca. What an honor for them.
So when you step back and look at the whole thing, The innovative co-hosting, all the new sports, but also the really serious struggles that happen behind the scenes. It paints a pretty complex picture, doesn't it? It kind of forces us to ask, what does all this mean for the future of the Olympics? Which really leaves us with this one big question. With the costs of hosting getting higher, the logistics getting more complicated, and the political controversies becoming more and more common, what is the future of the Winter Olympics? How are these games going to have to adapt just to survive, let alone thrive, in the years to come?